Is my audio coming through? Oh, I'm on. What's it called? I'm on. Okay. right there is perfect. Damn, where was it? Alright, there we go. Bro, I be forgetting shit. That snare is too similar to the other snare. Unless I'm like super light. That might do it. Put the chain on. It's got the loop points on. There we go. Take that off. This one, MV2, this is the best secret for an 808 because it's upward compression. I just open the same one again. No, I'm stupid. I think there it is. No, but I need mono. Good lord, bro. There we go. This upward compressor, this MV2, this shit, people genuinely don't be knowing about this, but it's upward compression. So basically what it's doing, this left knob right here, this is your low end, and then this upper knob right here, this is your high end. So it's like smushing the low end up closer against the high end, so it makes it pop a lot more, like it makes it a lot more audible. So if you hear like before and after, this before, you hear how that bottom gets brought up, and that's so much better than doing like a regular compressor. Because if you were to do it, if you were trying to do that with something like a 2A or something like that, the 2A has like a lot slower of a release time. So when you hit something like this, you hear how you lose a lot of that body now. That's because the 2A doesn't really know where to grab it at. So it goes based on like the loudest peaks, but on an 808, that's going to be that initial attack. So sometimes to get that body and keep that level consistent, the best way to go is either some upward compression, you could clip it. You could also even do, let me see, where is it? Something like this, where you grab like a Pro C. So Pro C has a cool feature where it lets you listen to all the peaks and everything before you start, before it starts doing gain reduction. So like this type of 808, let me just take the kick off. I'll mute the kick. So something like this, take that auto gain off. So it's not triggering until it gets to like right here, like right where this line is at. That's where it's gonna start triggering. So if you probably would draw it back just a little bit more, like right here. So we're getting like half a dB right there. That would be cool if you needed those like transients, you needed those tamed down, but otherwise, it also gives the kick a little bit more room to live, going the upward compression route. Another thing you can do too is you kind of shave some of this low end, so the human ear can't hear anything below 20 hertz. Only dogs and whatnot can hear that. So sometimes just clearing that out, giving that room for the 808 and everything to live into. might try with the SSL. Let's see. This is my favorite. If you've never been in the room with me and hear me talk about this, bro, this is my favorite SSL. This is my favorite EQ of all time. This one specifically, I think, is super fire because the E and G settings is modeled off like the old analog gear, and I think the E and G settings on here. So right now it's on G. If you hit this E, it brings you to the E channel. I think that's a lot better than the Waves one. Just already, that shit sounds crazy. Built-in compressor on this is super fire too. I don't think I'm gonna need it, because I'm gonna do most of my compressing. I might try it. Let me see. Alright, so I'm gonna change the order. I'm gonna have that be the shape-in EQ, and then I'm gonna bring this down. So I'm gonna redo this whole Pro Q4 and turn this into like a notch. So just off rip, that one little peak, like right here. Yeah, like that. That's gotta go immediately. Next, I'm hearing something probably around like 2500. So that's probably like right here. That another little initial transient like right here. Whew, that's gotta go. I don't go to like too crazy with these. I pretty much only target the shit that I hear like off rip. Because if you start doing too much mixing, like you're gonna start taking the life out of the beat too. So I pretty much, just from engineering for a while, I know what ranges kind of stand out when you push it into mastering. So that's typically the ranges I try and target. Like right around here is one too, like that 300 to 500 range. And that's also where like a lot of the body and instrumental lives too. If you peep, I'm only going down by like 0.5, not even a full dB. That's cool. Next, this is a secret too. This is like my little secret. So I route all of these. So if I have like a guitar or whatever, I always route it to a sound. Like I don't typically put the reverb or the delays or anything right on the actual guitar, because that can just kind of muddy it up. Especially if you're working with like a loop or a sample or something like that, and they're all kind of like in one wave form. So I'll route it to a reverb channel, like right here. So everything that I just did over here is now going right into here. And then I just play with this level. This affects how much of this affected signal. So this is going, all of this, the guitar and everything is going through all of this that I just put on here, then into this reverb, and then it's going through all of these too. So this knob right here basically affects how much of all of these you're gonna hear on the whole sample. So if I just solo these two, it's crazy. It's nothing like super crazy. EQ, take out some of the lows, because reverb adds a lot of low end, which a lot of people will be forgetting. Reverb adds a whole lot of low end. Typically in like your lower mids is where it builds up the most, and then the high end just a little bit. This is probably one of my favorite reverb plugins right now, because it has the post EQ, the reverb actual EQ. Pro R has that too, but I like the Neoverb one a little bit more. And then you can use these different sliders to get like different spaces. So you can do chamber, room, plate. I like the chamber one a lot because that's kind of like in the middle. But for this one, we might go like a room. Another thing I do, if you're on FL, this shit changed my life, bro. This knob right here, this is your stereo and your mono knob. All the way to the left is gonna put you fully in stereo, so that's like wider. If you go all the way to the right, it brings you down the middle. And why you would want to do that is because your phone speakers, laptop speakers, all of that type of stuff, those are all in mono. So if you mix in mono, it's gonna translate better. It's gonna give you a better idea of like what it's gonna sound like over a phone. So I bring it down. A lot of people like they boost it. I mix at super low levels. So even on my interface, like I'm turning it down right now. And I'm gonna see what pocket I like it in. So we're in chamber. I'm gonna take this over to room. Up the pre-delay. So what pre-delay is, how do I word it? Pre-delay is basically how much of your signal is going to be going in before the reverb kicks in. So you have, let me see how I could show it. I'll show on Shaperbox. So you see like all of these peaks right here, these are your transients. So what pre-delay is basically telling it how long before the reverb starts kicking in. So if you want a sound to sound like closer to you or farther away, you would do that with pre-delay. So a shorter pre-delay means that the reverb is going to come on automatically. Pretty much. So if I had this at 0, I'll turn it back up. So it immediately kicks in. As opposed to you slowly start to bring it up. If I put it all the way there, you hear more of the dry original signal. So I typically shoot for like, well, not that I shoot for it, but I normally end up around like 20 or 30. Especially with like a bigger reverb. So now that we got that, that dialed in. So now it's really just about putting it in a pocket. So we got hall down here, large chamber, and hall is like those two. I'm probably gonna stick with hall. And another thing you can do is start playing with the how much the low end is cutting right here. That's cool for it now. I think that's cool too. So next, another thing you can do too is add like different effects to the reverb to start putting it in a pocket. So this is my favorite like flanger. What this does, it takes the signal and it kind of starts shifting it like left, right, like really slow, and it gives it a little bit of depth. It gives it a little bit of character. It's like really subtle. You damn near like almost can't hear it, but you can feel it. And then after that, another EQ just to clean it up. I boost the mids a little bit, but like the higher mids, not the lower mids. Because the lower mids are gonna get super muddy, and then I just compress it. So just keep it consistent, to kind of keep it. Now that we got it in a space, you kind of want to keep it in that space. So that's one. Another one, I do like a delay too. I always typically do some type of delay because that moves it around. So you kind of have like the reverb like almost sitting in front, and then you kind of have like the delay going like side to side behind it. So I either normally go for this one that I made or this one. I made this one too. But I'm gonna see what this one sounds like. So that's cool. This is made by the same people. This is Tekutron. I like that joint. Heavy. So next, pretty much done with the beat. Now it's just gonna go back into level, make sure like everything is on a mixer, and then just do like a super quick mix on there. Where is it? I got so many presets that I made. It's like I'm looking for something. I don't even know where it is. It is crazy. It's in the R's. There, Rimshot. Yeah, that's cool. A little bit of reverb. Before. After. Yeah, that's cool. Definitely gonna take this reverb down, because I don't want it as wide. So level wise, these are cool. Hi-hats a little loud. You don't want your hi-hat to be louder than your snare if you can help it. Another thing you can do, what I would do, you can go in with a transient shaper. So Waves has a pretty good one. Isotope has a good one too. Neutron has a transient shaper. So basically, what I look for, so you see how if you have it full, you see how it's kind of jumping, but if you look, the full yellow bar isn't quite up there. That's just because the transients are a little too pokey. So what you can do is just kind of bring this down. You really don't want to go like super drastic. This is what it sounds like all the way, like you're taking all the life out of the hi-hat. So if you just kind of scale it up, probably like around like 4 or 5 will do it. Boom. That's it. And then probably just take it up like 0.5. Just gain stage it back up to like what it was taken out. Alright, maybe 1, maybe not 0.5. Yeah. And then just slowly just bring this back up. So I'm gonna bring the kick back in. You really want to mix against your kick, but I'm so used to, I've been doing this shit like all the time, so I can kind of do it without hearing the kick. But mixing wise, you really do want to mix against the kick, because your kick ideally should be hitting like right around 0. So your kick should be the loudest thing. So you really should go kick, 808. Sorry, let me show y'all the right order before y'all start saying it. Before y'all be like, he said to do it this way. No, so you want to do kick. You want to get your kick where you want it. You want to go kick, then 808. So let me even name this. I'll call this 808. So ideally, you kind of want like 2, I'll say like 2 dB between the two. So I try not to have if you have your 808 coming right at 0, and then your kick is like right at 0, you're not going to have any dynamic range between the two of them. So you want space between the kick and the 808. So if your 808 is like hitting at like 3 and your kick is hitting at like 0, that's a I'll probably go for like the aux shit. It's like a lot of percussive elements. That's all over here. So shift this over. So that'd be like the open hat, this. My open hats, I typically pan to the right a little bit because the hi-hats, so this yellow, this is to the left, this red, this is to the right. So you give yourself a little bit of width in the mix. It's perfect. That's like a perfect level. I didn't even have to touch it. Okay, so pretty much everything level-wise is pretty much right where I would want it. Pretty level, that's cool. I forgot about this one. Where's this at? Oh, that's perfect too. So everything sounds good. The main thing you want to listen for is just that everything sounds good in relation to each other. Like you kind of don't want one thing super loud and then like another thing like super quiet. I might change this. So this is a parallel chain. This is like the same thing like I was showing you like with like the reverb and the delays and stuff, but this one is for the 808. This is like an older one that I had. Like I think this one was like from the pandemic because I don't even use this anymore. I don't like the waves. I don't like the waves bus compressor. But basically the idea, yeah, I'm gonna tweak this. The idea is you want to send the clean process signal against a super processed, like super compressed signal. And what that's going to do is that's going to give this main 808 a little bit more body without having to like go in and do like a boost on the low end. Like you don't want to do that. Because dynamic wise, when you go and you push that in to any type of like limiting or any type of mastering, it's going to sound like absolute dog shit. So you can get away with that by doing like a parallel send. I don't even remember what I did here. So this will be like a good teaching example. Call it a P-comp. So first thing you listen for, you're just gonna saturate it. I don't even like decapitator. I hate decapitator. Saturated. Yo, what's up, Weez? So now that it's saturated, it gives it a little bit of like distinction between the main 808 and this one. What did I have? Oh, the Puig Tech. I don't even use this anymore, but this is good just for like the initial low end cleanup. That's 60 hertz range. That's like a presence range, so that's kind of where it's more felt than heard. The 100 hertz you kind of feel that a little bit more, so that's why that's a range. The 100 hertz you take that out of like the melodies and stuff, so I'm gonna just leave that on because it sounded fine. Then for the parallel, for the actual compression part, the main thing you want to focus on is the attack and the release time. So a longer release time means that this compressor is going to stay active longer once it hits the threshold. Longer attack time means that it's going to take the compressor a lot longer to activate. So typically with like a parallel, you want a super fast attack and a super longer release, because since it's not the main 808, you can get away with having it super compressed. So let's say I'm getting like 16 dBs of reduction. I always leave these off. And then you just kind of blend that in. What's going on, Wheezy? Can you hear me? I hope I haven't been talking to myself this whole time. I hope I haven't been talking to myself. Oh, no, I'm not. Alright, but I had to check. Alright, yeah, so that's 16 dB, so that's at a cool level. So that sounds fine. Next, you just blend the melody in. Now that I brought the melody back in, first thing I'm hearing, this is grabbing onto it too quick. So this type of 808, this is like all like transient. So all the energy is really in this first like couple seconds. Like it's really not a long 808. It's like a super short, super thumpy one. So with this one, I would probably tweak it. I probably would go like maybe a 1 or a 3 to let that initial transient come through. What did I just press? What the heck? I'll probably go like 1. And bring this down to like 15. What else? So typically I would go like super crazy with bus processing. Lately I've been cranking out a lot of beats and a lot of stuff like that, so I haven't been doing that as much. But just for the sake of showing you, so these two I would send. Let me see, I might add another one on. We got like a slap delay. I think that's pretty calm. So what a slap delay is the difference between that and a regular delay. The regular delay is like 16, quarter, eighth. So those are all based on time signatures. With a slap delay, you're going kind of like in between that. And it's not really, I mean it is synced to a note value, but it's not going to be like staccato. Like you can, I guess what I'm trying to say is you got a little more leverage with it. If you had I don't even know how to explain it, but basically this is like 0, so you can go like 50, 75, and all of these, they're a little bit different, but the point of it isn't to be as present as like a regular delay, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's almost like a little background, so it just adds depth basically. It's like super subtle. If I take it off, you notice it. You notice it right away. So it just gives the melody a little bit of a lift. So I'm just going to compress this a little more because I feel like it's poking out a little too much. I'm going to switch this from electro to opto, because opto is kind of based on like a LA2A. So what that does is gonna have like a slower, it's a little bit of a slower attack and release time. Still, when I'm muted, you can immediately hear the difference. right now. I would typically send all of these to something that says like all effects. So this is going to be where all of the leads and things like that go. So route to these only, and then this gives you a little bit of control. Now that these are all at like a level where we want, this lets you control all of these, the volume of all three of these at once, without having to affect the relationship to the actual guitar. So if I even wanted to like automate it, I could bring them up, or I could bring it down, or I could have it like right in the middle. But it respects the relationship of like where we put it originally. And that's like the main thing. Let me see, what else? Mixing, I'll probably put like an imager on this master. Not this one. My waves shall be messed up. Vitamin. This is probably my favorite one. Put this, boom, everything. So now everything below 100 hertz, this is all going into mono. So you don't want anything of your low end really in stereo if you can help it. I feel like the low end from these sends is still a little overpowering, even though it's not. What the hell? Alright, so let's try something else then. We might go with some multi-band, not Pro G, good lord. Pro MB, and just target these low mids super quick. Like right here. That's it for that one. Go to the next one. Let's see. I had a bunch of people send me a bunch of stuff in Discord. So let's see. Let's see what we got. That's fire. Giorno, you're crazy, bro. Giorno, you're crazy. I like this already. Alright, so first thing you want to do, you cut the dead space. Check if it's on tempo. So what I just did just now, this is high key my favorite mixing plugin ever. This is Neutron by iZotope. So the same people that make Ozone, they make this. This is my absolute favorite. I think this is like the best mixing plugin ever made. So this sculptor is kind of like Goldfoss, if you know what that is. It's a spectral shaper. So it kind of goes in and it uses like a different type of algorithm to like boost and add shit. And I have that hit before any type of EQ. Another reason I like Neutron is this soft saturation knob that can mirror an SSL. It's like super good. Like I think that soft saturation brings this closer to a real SSL than the Waves one, in all honesty. That sounds dope already. So this is before. So I'm gonna play from the top. This is before. This is after. It's like a lot more control. But the main thing is this EQ move. So cut in, because like I didn't want to take all the bass out. And this move right here, this range, like this 1000 range, where you're dealing with like really punchy synths. That right there. That right there. That would take up like all your room. And then targeting that same mid-range, like right here. So you're just keeping that level. It's really about just keeping it under control. Just trying to keep it as consistent and as level as you can. Alright, so now that that's done, I probably will go in with this. Actually, I might go in with this first. And target this 60 right here. I'm going to put it back in mono. Oh, I'm stupid. I have something soloed. Yeah, Neutron. If you leave something soloed in Neutron, it will remember. It's not one of those ones you could click off. So like, high end is good, low end is good. And I'm already hearing what I want to do. My dog. Bring this down. What was that sound? Batman! What's up, Bat? The Batman. I made this one preset for like snare rolls and shit like that. This shit's hard. So I just gotta find my player. It's like right there. You can hear the delay on it already. This is like my go-to. Thing. I've been using this a lot. This is all out of my kit. It's not out yet. I'm thinking I won't put it out this year. Gotta try and put it. So I want this part to be like right here. Let's try one bar. Nope. 2 beats. Nope. Oh, no, that was it. Alright, bet. Then I'm gonna put this on the channel. Where is this? Something like Stomp. Stomp 2. Yup. 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 I didn't even put the main snare in yet. When it's like a drum like this, I kind of hear shit beforehand. I put in all of that first, because I feel like the snare kind of locks you in to like a real staccato type of thing, which is where you're gonna end up. I like just adding a lot of shit that kind of complement that before. We about to put the hi-hats. We're about to tweak out the hi-hats too. Put these through the chain. I made this a while ago. It's the same thing like the snare, just a fuck ton of delay. Nothing crazy. Flanger, delay. I'm hearing like a super distorted 808 for this one. I don't know which one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cut it. It's A minor. Oh, it's got the time on. I hate when it does that. fits it perfectly. I was trying to see like what key I wanted it in. And this is too low, I think. Yeah, that's way too low. Alright, maybe I'll bring this down. No, it's not the same. Alright, let's try plan B. Let's see. No, definitely not. Alright, so I definitely like this one better. I just think the A is too high. So let me see, 1, 2, 3. So I'll try pitching it down by 3. And see, that gives it a little bit of room. Cause this 808 is just super present. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. That's a little better. we're gonna make a side chain track because I don't think I went over that today. This is a big one. So we're gonna take the kick. We're gonna do the same thing like we did on the other beat. Everything below 20 hertz, the human ear can't hear. So we're gonna take that out, mono the kick out. This is a stereo 808, so I'm gonna leave this here. We're gonna get an empty track. We're gonna call this side chain. Cool. Slide this over out the way. So next we're gonna take this is the 808, right? Right click on this little arrow, route to this track only. Boom. Take the kick, same thing, but we're not gonna do route to track only, we're gonna do side chain to this track. We're gonna pull up. There's a couple ways to do it. I've seen people use Peak Controller. I've seen people use what else? Like Pro C. I've seen people do it a bunch of different ways. This is my way because I just like the grit that you get out of the limiter. So I'm gonna mute this. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave this one. So now you want to tell what I just did. You want to tell Fruity Limiter to look for the input from the kick. So we're gonna have it set up that every time the kick comes in, the 808 is gonna duck down because the 808 has like a little bit of a kick in it already. So you kind of want the kick that we picked to sit on top of that a little bit more. So I'm gonna add a little bit more color to the kick because I want the kick to stand out from the 808 a little bit more. So this is a big crusher too right here. Sounds like if we pitch it down just a teensy bit more, maybe like 2. Let's see, take this to -2. Don't like that either. That's back to where we was. Alright, so I'm gonna leave it where we are right now for the time being. Everything to be in mono. Everything below 100 hertz, mono, 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 mono. I'm gonna add a portal too. I want a little bit more movement. Where is it? So next for this 808, it's powerful, but it's missing a little bit of body. So let's try and find something we could layer it with to beef it up. Good lord. I hope that's not piercing y'all ears. Playing Fortnite. Ooh. I gotta get back on with you, bro. I gotta update. I think I played like one game of this new season. I want like a sub. Where can I find a sub? Who's got a sub? Let's custom 808s. Maybe? Oh no, it's clipping. Damn. Good lord. I hope that didn't pierce your ears. I'm not using that one. That was crazy. Maybe a CTM. CTM? You want CTM it? I'm tripping. I know what I'm gonna do. We're just gonna make one. Alright, take this. We're gonna make this square wave. There we go. Take the octave down. Oh no, I'm tweaking. Bring this down. Noise, we're gonna turn the sub on. We're not going to double square wave. We'll probably do a square and a sine. Yeah, we'll do a square and a sine. Bring this down an octave. We're going to mess with the sustain a little bit. Bring the decay. I should let the decay alone. I think we're good where we was at. Alright, so next let's bring in a sine wave. Bring this down an octave. Perfect. Alright, we're gonna bring this down an octave. Cool. So next we're gonna warp it. Let's see. Let's bring this to. Let's do FM. Let's do FM. No, we don't want FM from A. We gotta do it over here. So let's get FM from B. And let's get a little bit of some tape saturation. So now we're gonna modulate this on here. Bring that attack up a little. Cool. Let's bring a filter. Let's modulate this with this cutoff right here. Do like 5K. Cool, we're just gonna add a quick couple effects. Let's do hyper dimension. Bring the size down. Actually, no, we're gonna take hyper dimension off. I don't want hyper dimension. I'm just gonna distort it. I'm gonna EQ it, boost the mids. So let's do like 1500. Q, bring this up by like a dB. Ooh, ooh. Cool. Distortion, where you at? Right here. Let's go diode. Bring it drive down just a little bit. Perfect. So we're gonna send this to a chain. Call this like sub. And because we have so much high end in like the first 808, you don't want a lot of high end on here. So it's kind of like playing Tetris, because the other 808 didn't have a whole lot of low end. We're gonna let this fill in for that low end. 1500. So then we're just gonna copy this. Copy, paste. But pitch it down like 3, 1, 2. Another thing too, you want to cut it by the same as the first. So this is 1:1. Cut this 1:1. And you probably gotta put on mono legato. You can't slide on serum, so you don't take these out. And it's gonna bring this all the way down. Something like this, maybe. Another stomp. Let's see which one. Are you stomp 2 or stomp 1? see, you're probably gonna automate these two to come on at some point. So let's make automation clips. So probably like right here. Let's try that. See what that sounds like. I did it mute solo instead of the mix knob. Yeah, let's get rid of those. Let's try that again. You really need it to do the mix knob, so you can automate like how much of the effect is coming through. That's what I was trying to do. Create. Alright, now let's try this. So I'm like, why does it keep glitching every time I'm playing it? Make no sense. 18, so I'm gonna just duplicate this. Let me see what other one I want to go to. Akuma. This is hard too. This is hard, Akuma. Y'all 3 for 3 tonight in the Discord. You almost sound some lucky shit. Oh, and he trimmed the space. So this one, I'm not gonna use the neutron thing that I already have set up. I'm gonna just try and show y'all like how I would do it from scratch. Cause it's probably gonna be my last one. It's like a your boy is tired. I'm gonna lay some shit down and then I'm gonna probably go and do like another little quick mix joint. Show y'all. Let's see. That always throws me off. Alright, that's cool. We're gonna do like a little offbeat. do 8 bar instead of 4, so that we can catch the pitch changes instead of having to duplicate this whole thing. So I can leave this as a 4. Bring this. Ooh, maybe not have the 808 come in right away either. Fruity Warp would be taking forever. Does it do it for anybody else? Or I'm wondering if it's just me. I don't like cymatic shit. Oh, I made that. Maybe. Maybe. Wait a minute. If I get this on time, and then I'm thinking I might just filter it. No, definitely not that. Let's do 2 beats. That's too fast. Alright. Maybe. Wait a minute. Let me see. Just put some delay on it, I think. That's too loud. What the hell? Good lord. Let's try it the other way. Let's put one filter. This is like the same thing as like Fruity Love filter. You just got like one knob. That's like the only take back. Yeah, there we go. And we're gonna boost the mids and cut the lows again. Perfect. That's just that little shit that tickles your ear, and then we're gonna delay it. Let's get crazy with the delay though. Yeah, that sounds cool. And then let's add. Nobody knows about this. I'm only showing this because y'all be supporting. But this is Frostbite. I got this for free on Plugin Boutique, but it's almost damn near like Portal. Like, this shit is crazy. Might work, might not work. I don't know. It typically works on like background shit. I don't know if it's gonna work on a drum fill. We'll see. That's supposed to be short. Why is that taking so long? Wait, I gotta find a different one. Cause that just fucked me up. Yeah, that's like the extended money counter. I'm not trying to have that. That's like 30 seconds. There we go. So you see how short this one is? This is the one I was looking for. That other one, that's like 2 minutes long. I wonder too if we find like a Memphis drawing, put like the Memphis drawing on here. If they got acapellas. Summer drama, no need. It's coming through. Damn flow. Break yourself, hit the flow. Break yourself. Maybe. Break yourself, hit the flow. Maybe that might fit. That might fit. Is it longer? Break yourself, hit the flow. Break the law, motherfucker. Break the law. Break yourself, hit the flow. One little part. All right, we gotta find. We about to do some digging. We're gonna find the actual song that came from, and then cut it. What's it called? Break Yourself, DJ Zerk. Let's see if we can find it. Is this it? Break yourself, fool. 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 That's not it. That's not it at all. I don't know what that was. Is this it? I hope this is it.
Riding in my car, and my pockets feeling nasty out. Ran up on this sucker, caught him slipping in without a doubt. Ground made a loud sound, kept him in the chest, laid to rest over a pile of mess. My blood is pumping hard, I'm kinda greedy for the cheese, man. Reaching in his pocket, thinking big, found some pocket change. Tucked him on his stomach, he stopped him vomiting up his blood and guts. First degree in robbery, so then
that would fit for something else. That's not what I'm looking for.
Break yourself, hit the flow.
I need like a Juicy J. I know I gotta have a Juicy J acapella somewhere. Hold on. This joint is just asking for a Memphis sample. Alright, I do in fact not have a Juicy J acapella just laying around. Where's the I need it? There's gotta be one in here somewhere. What's this?
Yeah.
That's Biggie
This album is
Smalls.
dedicated to all the teachers that.
Fans will make her dance. Fans will make her dance. These chicks.
Yeah.
So niggas
This
got
album is
Biggie
dedicated-
Smalls, but no fucking Memphis Juicy J joint. That's absolutely insane. What am I doing with my life, bro? Alright, back to
Break yourself.
Damn football.
You get in dope for kilo.
fuck it. Alright, I'm just trying to get this to fit for right now then. That's insane.
Break yourself. Hit the flow. Break yourself. Hit the flow.
I had to filter out the original instrumental.
Break yourself. Hit the flow. Break yourself. Hit the flow. Break yourself. Break yourself. Hit the flow. Break yourself. Hit the flow. Break yourself. Hit the flow. Break yourself. Hit the flow.
That's not quite on.
Break yourself. Hit the flow. Break yourself. Hit the flow. Break yourself. Break yourself. Break yourself. Hit the flow. Break yourself. Break yourself. Hit the flow. Break yourself. Break yourself. Hit the flow. Break yourself. Hit the flow. Break yourself. Hit the flow.
It was cool the other way. That'll work.
Break yourself. Hit the flow. 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 Break yourself. Hit the flow.
Let me see. I wonder if a Project Pat joint. I posted a joint on my story. A Project Pat joint. Project Pat. There's got to be another one in here. This is gonna drive me crazy.
Chicken bone now.
Lick my nuts, lick my nuts, lick my
That's crazy. Alright, you gotta clip this 808. 808's like too punchy. You was in here earlier, I was talking about how you don't really want, if you got a kick, you want your kick to live above the 808. So you want your kick to be like, your kick can hit at 0. I'm gonna clip this too. So like your kick can be hitting at 0, but you don't want your 808 like up there too. Like, you see how it's right at 0, the kick's right at 0 too. So that's like, if you was like in school, you remember when like everyone would be trying to talk at the same time, and the teacher would be like, all right, one at a time. Like it's the same kind of thought process as that. I'd be looking for at least like 2 dB. So I normally start bringing this down at like 2, and if that's too much, then I'll bring it down to like 3. So I'll probably have it at like 3. might even sidechain this too. The same way we did it with so first, since I did the 808 and then I did the 808 with the parallel, I'm gonna send both of these, we'll call this 808 bus or 808 group. Let's let this go. Alright, so 808 group, main 808's going. We're gonna send the parallel copy here too, and then send the main 808 back to the parallel. So both of these are now going into here. Then we're gonna add same thing we did on the other beat, not the low lifter, not the low lifter, the fruity limiter right here. So then take the kick, side chain, go over to the comp tab, and then pick the kick as the input. So this will bring this here. I normally do like a 2-to-1 ratio. So with compression, when you do like a 2-to-1 or whatever the ratio is, you're telling it when this threshold gets triggered for every 2 dB above volume. So you see how we just brought this down by like 2 or 3. So for every 2 dB of volume that goes through this threshold, reduce it and only let 1 through. That's why it's 2-to-1 ratio. So I probably could bring this back up. Yeah. And I'm gonna just try and gain match it back to where we were. It's a little too much. So I think like 4. 4 I think will do it.
Break yourself, hit the floor. Hit the floor.
Nah, definitely not. I definitely want something else in that spot though. Maybe like a sweep. That'll work.
Hit the floor.
I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna level out this melody some. Get a better room. Let's see. Alright, so we got the Pro Q. I'm gonna redo this whole Pro Q. This is atrocious. This is abysmal. So remember what I told you earlier. This knob, so fully to the left, you're in stereo. Fully to the right, you're in mono. You want to be in mono because that's if you're trying to like EQ, you're trying to get your space, because this is most accurate to what's going to translate to like phone speakers and like the smaller speakers where people are most likely they're going to get their first listen at. So another thing too, what we were talking about earlier, this like 800 range, especially when you're dealing with things with like heavy synths and all of that, this is the range you want to start looking at. I'd say this 800 to like 1500 is like where I go to first all the time. Cause that's the range where you hear like clarity is like the 800s, like 8 to 1500, somewhere around there. So sometimes getting that dialed in first will open up how you're able to mix the rest of the stuff. Yeah, you hear that? Those type of frequencies, that's what ear fatigue is. If you know anything about psychoacoustics, that's the range where I would say here the 2500s too. These are the ranges where if these are like too loud and too pokey, like that's the stuff that hurts your ears most of the time. So let's see what's living over in this area. Good Lord. Good Lord, yeah. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna bring this down. I hope I'm not hurting y'all ears. You hear that? You really don't need that. That's just a little bit of like the high end. I bring this down pretty much all the time. You can like make it dynamic. I typically don't use a whole lot of dynamics. I'm a big fan of doing like the static points like this and then just bring them down like that. But just in this case, because I don't feel like going through all of the stems and doing it, just dynamic, it only is going to trigger when like that super loud peak is coming through. And then in Pro Q4 you also have like an attack and release band. So I'll probably bring the attack down, have it come in just a little bit quicker. Just to catch that initial transient, actually probably like right here. Just to catch that initial transient. Cause that doesn't sound good with the ride. It's like right here. You feel me? That initial transient, you want to get that under control. You could also handle that with like a transient shaper, so you don't always have to make a dynamic EQ curve. And then another range that gets real muddy is typically like the mids, like maybe over here. But these are actually handled pretty good. He did a good job. Akuma, he did a good job. Like over here. So especially with a brass, bro, you would literally have like a bunch of just resonance living over there. So everything else like that's bothering me, the first thing when I'm EQing, the first thing I'm looking for is the shit that like bothers me, and I try and zone in and hone in on those first. So if you start doing like those peaks where you see people that are going like this and they're sweeping all around the spectrum, everything is going to sound bad because look, you're boosted 30 dB right now. So anything you hear in this range is going to sound bad, especially if you go and you make the point super narrow like this. It's going to sound terrible. So you kind of want to train your ear to be able to pick shit out before, and then once you get that under control, then you can start going in and start looking at all the other stuff. So I know that I want a little lift over here, so I'm probably going to think like 4,500. We'll see how close I got. So let's try 4,000 first. Let's see what this sounds like if we open this up. So that's good. Let's try 45. That's a little harsher. So we might even be able to go over more to the left around like the 3s, like 3,000. That works. So that also works too because we did a dip around 2,500. So normally when I do a cut, I try and boost somewhere in that same frequency range to make it not as empty. So when you do your dips, you want to go a little more narrow on the cue. When you boost, you want to do wide because you want to get more of these frequencies in there. So I'll probably boost this by like 2. I might even do it on a different EQ sometimes because I don't like this band moving. Yeah, I think I might do that on a different EQ. Alright, so this will be like my cut EQ. Sorry, so next I'm going to start pulling any resonances I see in here out. So I know there's going to be one at like around like 8K because I was hearing that. So let's see. Also mix at low volumes too. Don't crank your shit. If you're trying to mix, you're trying to find shit to take out, don't mix at loud volumes. Good Lord, see that? I also just did what I just told y'all not to do, but my volume is like super low. But like right around like 8. Hear that whistle? It's not as bad when you get higher, but right around 8. Yeah, that whistle right there, like that gotta go. So I will probably take this down. When I'm doing my notch EQs, I really only come down by 0.5. I don't do like 2, 3 most of the time. Unless it's like super harsh. Most of the time 0.5 does it for me. Another one that I'm knowing is going to be around, probably, we already handled 2,500. So, high-end sounds pretty balanced. Alright, so next thing, like I was going to do before, I'm just going to do it on a different EQ. Sometimes you want to get in the habit of EQing in steps. Because if you try and handle everything in one EQ, you kind of lose yourself. So you kind of want to use each plugin, get it to where you want it, and then move on. And don't like linger around looking for different stuff. Like even though this is only 1, 2, 3, there's only 4 moves right here. Just leave it. If it gets to where you want it to be, and have a purpose behind each one of the EQs. Like this is my taming EQ. So I took out the low end. Tame these frequencies that we were just talking about, like that hurts people's ears, and then dial this in for the high end. And then next I'm gonna do the boosting that I was gonna do. I was gonna do that 4K move, like right around here. I was gonna do that 4K boost, but I'm not gonna do it on here. I'm gonna use this MEQ to do that. So this is the best mid-range sculptor you're ever gonna get. So it works like a regular Pultec peaks, dips, and then peaks. So your peaks are your boosting. Just like on a regular Pultec, you can boost and attenuate on the same frequency. So this one you can do, it's basically the same thing. Your peak is your boost, your dip is your like attenuate basically. So I always start with these 5 and 7 right here. So I'm probably gonna peak at 7, so boost, and then I always do it by the same number. Some people don't. I just always do it by the same number. So I'm gonna boost at 7, and I'm gonna take away the same number at 500. And it's kind of like a seesaw, where you had like 2 people on the seesaw. You have one side going up this way and one side going down this way. You're kind of alleviating the bad side that you want is going to be the side that's going down, and then you're kind of lifting up the better side. So I think out of these 700 sounds a little bit better than the 5. So I kind of want all the focus to be on this 500 right here. And then look, the 4K, just like I was going to boost on the other one. I'm only going to bring this up by like 1 though. Sounds cool. This is with everything bypassed. So I'm gonna take it out of mono so you can hear. So this is with everything bypassed right now. Sounds cool. And then this is what with the moves that we just made. So that's a lot more control. got plenty of room for the drums now. So next, so frequency wise, we're good. The next move I would make would be compression, and I would either hit that one or two ways. If I had a range where, let's say like mid-range and let's just say high range, and I could hear that these were just super unbalanced, I probably would go in with like a multi-band, like a 3-step or maybe a 4-step like this, and then kind of just tame them like this. But because everything's pretty balanced level wise, I just will go in with something a little slower, probably something like this. My throat is itchy. Damn. Yeah, I will go in with something like this. I use this one. There's two. Well, they actually make more than two. The LA2As. We were talking about this a little bit earlier too. So this one is like the standard one that you see. Like this one, if you ever use the Waves, the CLA 2A, that's what this is modeled after. But I like the UAD one a little bit better. The CLA one is just a little too aggressive for me. So it's the same thing. You have your gain. So this is like your makeup gain. This is your peak reduction. So this is going to control how much like compression is going through. So you see, if I turn this all the way to 100, you can barely hear it. And then as I dial it back, you look at this knob right here. You see, as I move this to the left, you get to hear it more and more. And that's because it's compressing less. So all the way to the right, you're at 100% compression. It's like the meter only goes up to -20, but realistically, you're probably getting like negative 25, maybe even 30 dB. The meter just only goes to that. So when you move it back to the left, you go all the way to 0, the needle's not moving. But if you look, you see how we crank it, you see how the needle moves really slow? It's very slow. So this is good for like smoothing out like your peaks. This is good for catching any type of peaks, especially if you have something super dynamic like this synth type of stuff. This is good for catching any of your peaks. But for this one, I'm gonna use, they make a different version. This is the silver version. So that I can't talk. The needle moves a lot faster. So if I bring this like over here, you might not be able to tell, but the needle is moving a lot faster than it was on this one. So that comes down to attack and release time. So that means that this is just a little bit more dynamic than the regular one. So I'll probably have this right around like here. You don't want too much. I really don't go past 1. I go for another AB. So this is without, this is with nothing on it. And this is with. You can just play with the gain knob to get some of the volume back. Like the compression is taken out.
Break yourself, hit the flow.
Like this is really something you would want to go in with the stems, but I do not feel like doing that right now. So you go move this to 100, take this from stereo, put it in the mid. This is going to affect that middle channel, so the same thing that we did when we moved this all the way to the right and we put it in mono. this is affecting that channel. So you can go in and do like a cut at like 100. So you're not completely killing the sound, but that middle channel is like where the 808, the kick, the snare, all of that lives. You're moving some of that out of the way. You're still gonna keep some of the body. I should do like a mastering video one day, like a mastering stream. Cause I don't always master my beats all the time. Let's see what this one was. I'm making a lot of guitar shit again lately. I was making a lot of guitar shit, and then I kind of stopped, switched more over to like trap. But now I'm getting back into the guitar. It's probably like my favorite one I've made this year so far. I never put this on the master. I don't even remember doing this. This is a super fire plugin now. This is a saturate. It's actually free too. It's Voxengo 2 amp. Y'all should definitely go cop that. So we can go over this guitar EQ real quick, because this is pretty simple. Alright, so first thing, Pultec. Just doing a boost at 10K, super broad. So this is before. I should find a part where it's not filtered. Alright, so this is with nothing. No, this is with nothing, I'm sorry. Wait, I gotta mute the automation. I'm tripping. Alright, so this is without the Pultec. This is with the Pultec. It just brightens it up a little bit. If you look at like a spectrum analyzer, so we're looking at this range right up here. So you kind of see it's a little lacking like right around here. So when we turn this Pultec back on, you see these individual lines, they're reaching up a little bit higher now. Cool, so that's the top end. Next, what do we do here? Alright, so just some basic EQ moves. Low end cut. So that rumble, like we were talking about earlier, that's just really just eating up space. That went. And then the same thing like I was showing you, like my notch EQs. That one I didn't even use. This one I didn't use. This one, same thing, 0.5, 389. You hear those resonant frequencies? Those are what we were talking about earlier that just kind of take up space. They really don't need to be there. This one is like 1200 basically. The same thing, real pokey. And then in the other beat, I made them dynamic. So they were kind of going like this. Like they were moving a little bit. But this one, I didn't do that. So this is an example of what I was talking about, like with the static points. Or just really just having them sit there. Same thing, 4K. This time I cut at 4K instead of boosting. And that was it. Then the same mid-side move. And I don't think I had this on. Did I? I might have. Let's see. Yeah, just a little bit of compression. Just smoothing out. Sometimes when you push through a 2A, this is a secret too. Sometimes when you push through the 2A, even if the needle isn't moving, it just gives it a different type of polish to it. So this before, it's like super subtle. It just kind of brings it to the front of the mix a little bit more. And then everything else was just pretty much leveling. And the same deal when the kick comes in, just moving out some of that low end in the kick so that you can notice it in the 808 more. The same thing was 808. 808's not at 0, 808's at like 6, probably peaking at 3. But the kick is at 0. Let's start with this one. I think this is another me and Giorno beat. Yeah, I ain't mixed this one at all yet. Benzo, what's up, Ben? Yeah, I ain't mixed this one at all. I don't even know if I finished arranging it, but we can go over that right now. Do like a super quick mix. First thing I gotta do, I bring this 808 under control. So we're gonna box this in. So what that move does, that means that every time and I let go of it, it stops instead of like ringing on. Yeah, all the Giorno shit that Giorno has been sending me, bro, me and Giorno have like at least 4 Jones right now that would change our lives. No bullshit. So this one, we're gonna cut the lows out. I'm gonna probably go back in and do a stem mix, especially for this one. A lot of the times when I do a move like that and there's like a bass in the sample, I really don't care. But for ones like this where I want that sub bass to come through a little bit more, I'm probably just gonna do a stem mix. But I'm gonna just do a mix for the sake of the stream real quick of like how I would do it. Alright, so first we're gonna figure out what we don't like. So same thing like we was talking about. I'm looking at this 8 to like 1500 range. So I'm gonna take a gamble and I'm gonna say it's gonna be at like 9. I'm gonna say like 950. Let's see how close I got. Close. Yeah, like right there, like 800. So I was a little bit off. So bring that down like minus 0.5. Make that super narrow. Another one we're gonna check over by 2500. Bring this down 0.5. And then we're gonna look over here at some of these peaks, probably around like 350. Right there. So that's like right at like 400. Same thing, 0.5. Alright, cool. So next, I want to boost the top end a little bit. So I'm going to probably go in with a high shelf. Typically, I wouldn't do this in the same move, but because this is super polished and I really don't, what do you say? Make it. Word. I hear you, Ben. Word. But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do like a shelf at like 3K. Right there. Do like 2. Pull tag. And boost it 1,000. I'm not gonna dip nothing. I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna take this shelf off here. And maybe if I just do it with this pull tag. Alright, so that's cool. Send this to a melody delay. Do like this one. I'm gonna change it. I don't want the isotope one. This one is actually fire, but I want to use the mutant because you can duck. What time is it? Oh shit, it's 12:48. I got time for one more. I'm trying to see what's the most recent one I did. Let's do. I'm blanking. Oh, I see it. If y'all could see my other screen, bro, you can see I'm trying to scroll through like 125 different. This folder is crazy. Alright, bet. There it is. Bro, I just unplugged my whole monitor. Bro, I'm crazy. Actually, yeah, I'm about to chalk it. I'm about to end stream. Bro, I appreciate everyone who pulled up today. Thank you. I'm gonna try and do another one. I'm gonna try and do another one this week. Probably, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. He said I don't miss that fire alarm. Oh, why am I now just seeing? There must be like a delay on my fucking chat. I know there's not. I don't miss that fire. Bro, the fire alarm is mad annoying. I'm like so used to it now that it doesn't wake me up. Between that and the train is probably worse than the fire alarm, in all honesty. Because the fire alarm only goes off like a few times. It's like, alright. But the train is like all night, bro. It's cooking me. Yes, that was me using Decapitator, bro. I didn't like it, Ben. I didn't like it at all, bro. But yeah, thank you to everybody who pulled up. It's probably the best one I've had, so thank you. I'm gonna try and do another one soon. So y'all take